What up, everybody? It's the Rhoyal remix. All right.
Rhoyal lyric show.
It's your Rhoyal lyric here, and I have a very special, very, very special guest who I've been following for a really long time. I think I met you maybe 5 years ago.
I think around 2020.
Yeah, and I'm just now seeing her again, really, I think in person for the second, maybe third time. And this is Vyann, everybody. I am so excited to have her. She is an amazing, very beautiful singer-songwriter, but also, as I was doing some of my research on you, are you a student or a graduate of Yale?
I'm a graduate. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, an alum. Yeah. That is crazy. Of Yale University, guys. That is probably some of the most amazing information that I could ever talk to an artist about. You know what I mean? And I don't even want to get your major wrong. Could you tell everyone what your major was?
So I actually double majored in history of science and music. So those are my two majors, which I loved both of them, especially, I don't even think I had a favorite, but they were both awesome.
That is amazing. Yeah. History of science, and then what was this? And music.
Music, yes.
Yeah. Wow. And are they tied together in some way, or is it two separate?
They're both separate. So there used to be an option to do a joint final project, a joint senior project, and then they got rid of that. So I had to do two separate theses for each. Wow. But I feel like they're tied together. I feel like music is very healing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I'm really happy that I majored in both.
That's amazing. And you made it.
I did.
Yeah, it was difficult. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, because I know I used to be a teacher and I used to teach 12th grade English, and I had one student that actually went to Yale. I think she's still there now.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I think it's so cool that you've done both music and science, because I always talk to students about having your passion and going for it. Yeah. But I think a lot of times for students, their passion isn't always the one that they can go to school for, or the ones their parents will allow them to. Yeah. So how are you kind of afforded that opportunity to be able to do both? Were your parents or your caretakers okay, you can do whatever you want? Was it that kind of playground for you, or how was that for you?
That's a great question. I think it was a lot of that. A lot of my parents putting my sister and I in different extracurricular activities. Growing up, my mom sent us to a lot of camps, math camp, piano camp. Math camp was terrible, but piano camp was fun. Literally, it was horrible. And so we were exposed to a lot of things. We went to Shakespeare camp for a week. Wow. My sister did dance at Baltimore School for the Arts for a while. They have a free dance program, and we did a lot. Yeah. And I think that even though they never necessarily said, we want you guys to do, multiple things, we want you guys to be, multidimensional, I think that subliminally was the message when you, are just, exposing your kids to a bunch of cool stuff and, making sure they always have something to do over the summer, you know? So, I think it was that. And I also just, love both those things. I really am interested in public health and medicine and super interested in music, too. And I was just I'm not going to force myself to choose.
Yeah, that's an amazing opportunity. I just love that. And so with the science degree, what are you doing with it? Or are you just I have it, I know what I want to do, but I'm doing music primarily, or are you doing both primarily?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So right now I'm doing a gap and I'm trying to just decompress from school and focus on music. Okay. And I'm planning on going to grad school at Hopkins to get a master's of science in public health. So that's the plan. So and then after that, I'll hopefully go to nurse midwifery school, and that'll be that in terms of school.
That's amazing. Wow. And I'm so glad I'm talking to you, because I have so many questions. I saw this article on you, and you said something about your thesis was on slavery. Women.
Yes.
What was it exactly? I was because I used to teach African American studies. For the kids at the high school. Yeah. So what exactly was that thesis?
Yeah. So my thesis was on Black midwives, enslaved midwives during the antebellum period. So I was really interested, obviously, in midwifery, and there's a lot of research about Black midwives like early 20th century to like mid 20th century, but there is not a lot about what they were doing during slavery, which is primarily because obviously like people were not documenting a lot of the decisions and lives of midwives because they are Black midwives because they were enslaved, and a lot of them didn't know how to read or write. So it was it's a bit difficult to find information on them because it's just not well documented. But I was just super interested in how Black midwives who were enslaved, and some of them were free, were able to both create a safe space for Black women to give birth during slavery and to be community healthcare providers, because a lot of enslaved midwives weren't just delivering babies, they were also herbalists, they were healers, so people would come to them for various illnesses or medical like issues. And there's a really interesting relationship that birth work and midwifery have with the slave economy as well. So like I think a lot of times we think of slavery obviously within like these like philosophical like moral terms, and obviously that's important, but there's also a big economic side to it. Like slavery, and like it gave wealth to the country. And the way that happened was through bodies. They needed people to be born. They needed more slaves to be born. And so midwives have this really interesting position within the economy of slavery because they are kind of really important to ensuring that you have healthy babies.
To do the work. Oh my
so
goodness.
There's some really interesting sources I found actually where like slave owners paid their midwives who were enslaved.
Wow.
Which is weird, right? Because you're like, you're enslaved, why am I being paid? But it shows that like they were very valuable.
Wow.
Like George, isn't that really
that's
crazy?
High value if you're being paid as a enslaved person.
Yeah. So it's fascinating. Like George Washington famously paid his midwife, like gave her money to buy like food. She had like a credit at like a nearby like store. Yeah, it's really interesting.
That's amazing. Do you have a paper?
Yeah.
I would love to read that because I am very interested in that. But that's amazing, and that you have such a. First of all, that was a great explanation of all of that. So I know that all the work that you did was very intricate in that way. But I think it's so interesting because a lot of artists that you meet are like they're artists and they do music, and that's their thing. It's cool, and I think that it shows so much in the way you sing and like the music that you make. You're so smart. You can tell that, but it's just it's so beautiful. Like you can see art as you're singing. I can see pictures.
Thank you.
Like it's really cool. And you have a recent song that's out called Farewell Song.
Yes. I do.
What would you say is the theme of that song? I was listening to it and I'm like, this is so beautiful. Like,
thank you.
I loved it.
Thank you. The theme of Farewell Song, like nothing really complicated. It's about saying goodbye. You know, it's in the title. You know, it's funny because the song, like I guess maybe you know this, you don't. I wrote it when I was 12, so like there is kind of like a, just like an interesting relationship that I have with it because I was like so young when I wrote it, and so it's kind of like, what exactly was I consuming as a 12-year-old that would lead me to
or were you saying goodbye to something?
That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't have a boyfriend. Like like there was no like boy, and like there was nothing really deep happening in my life at 12. I was just like in middle school, you know. But I think I was listening to like a lot of like Motown. And I was just consuming like a lot of that like yearning like pop music that has like a really recognizable like melody or like motif, and then you just talk about something that most people can relate to, which is like love and like saying goodbye or like having to leave something or someone that means so much to you. So it's about that.
And there's such a harsh reality in saying goodbye, which I think was like shown through the song, but there's also a beauty in it because you're having to leave something to go to something new. And I think making room for the new thing is always saying goodbye to something. And I think that's such a great theme, especially for nowadays. there are a lot of people going into newness, new seasons of life, especially with the new year.
Yes.
People are making these resolutions.
I know everybody wants to go to the gym. And
yeah, they're like, oh. So I think that song would be a great theme song for people to like, you know, say goodbye to some old things and, you know, head into some new things. That's really cool. And then you had a song come out in 2024 called What's Going On.
Yes.
And that song gave me, I felt a lot of soul in that
You
one.
did? I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
glad.
And would you say that was kind of the message about like brutality and...
Yeah. I mean, I think like it's funny because I listen to that album all the time. I mean, obviously it's like probably like one of the most important albums just in general of like the mid to late 20th century, and then also one of Marvin Gaye, probably his most popular album. So every time I listen to it, I'm just like, wow, like the song is still so relevant. The whole album is it's
kind of sad that it's so relevant, but it is.
It is sad.
Like, oh man,
it's
like things
like
haven't
darn,
really
like
gotten
I wish
better.
it could be better.
Yeah, and it's like things have gotten better.
Yeah,
but it's always something we could do better.
Exactly,
to make things even better. You know,
exactly.
Because you talk about like in slavery.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not in that space
right,
now, but there now are like metaphorical versions of slavery, like
precisely.
So it's all
it's
all intertwined. But I think you're so young too to have this kind of a perspective.
Yeah.
So where do you think you get that? And I wouldn't call it. I don't like saying like old soul because I think that just puts people in a category.
In a weird
but I think it's such a developed mindset around a lot of things that a lot of people your age may not care about.
Yeah.
So what do you think gives you that? Like kind of perspective, like why do you care about these things?
Yeah, I don't. You know, growing up, I always kind of was just like they used to say that I had the old soul. So like you know, I've kind of come to embrace it just because I'm like whatever. It's
because how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, my my gosh, that is amazing.
Isn't that funny?
You're 22.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Isn't that hilarious?
Yo, 22-year-olds do not make this kind of music. Y'all need to go stream everything on YouTube because you sound like you've been here.
That's
before.
Really funny.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah. No, I mean, I'm not, like, whenever people talk about it, I'm just like, yeah.
That's just you.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's just kind of like where I am.
Did you grow up in a family of like musicians and?
Yeah, so my mom is a professional classical singer, and so that definitely
gives you
that definitely gave
edge.
me some understanding of like that world, and I think music is obviously like my mom's like job. So like there was never gonna be like a situation or a world in which we wouldn't, my sister and I, like study music or do something musically related, because like it was just kind of like a given. But yeah, I mean, I just think some people are born with certain like energies, with certain understandings, and I think everybody has their own unique set of those things, you know? And I think for some reason, like, I've always just been a little more observant, a little more, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think environment, what do they say? Nurture versus nature.
Exactly.
And I think that nature part is playing a big role for you, and the nurture part, it's all in there. Do you ever think, I feel like I know the answer to this already, but if you could think about like, say you didn't grow up in that family,
right?
Do you think you would still be doing music, or do you think you had maybe just go through the science track the whole time?
That's a really good question.
Like, how heavily involved was your environment to your choices?
My environment was really important. I think I don't know if I would be on this same. I definitely wouldn't be on the same path.
Yeah.
I think I would have always loved music. I think I would have always just loved to listen to it. Would have been interested in maybe playing an instrument growing up, but I don't know if I would have been. I don't know if I would have been as. I don't know if I would have had the interest and the fascination that I have, because I think, even growing up in the car, like we would have, my parents played like, the compact disc thing in the cars, like the compact disc. So like my parents had like 4 like CDs that they would have like just that stayed in there. Like they never really exchanged them. And it was like Aretha Franklin's like gospel album, like Nat King Cole. And then sometimes I think there was some classical music in there. Like, and then like Miriam Makeba, I don't know.
Okay, I've heard the name.
Yeah, she's like, so that was the stuff that we were listening
and it's
to.
funny because those I'm about to ask you who your influences are, but those right there, it just kind of seems to encapsulate the way you sing and the way you make music. But do you have any other influences that are like very key to like people you've grown up listening to or people that you study that you're like, I want to do something similar to that?
Definitely Nina Simone is probably my primary influence, aesthetically and musically, for sure. Even though like, I think part of me also sometimes like doesn't. I sometimes hate when people are like Nina Simone, Nina Simone. Like yeah. I know that I'm black and I play the piano and I sing. Like okay, yes, Nina Simone. I think Roberta Flack as well is someone that I really really love. I'm trying to think. Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan. I mean, those are just voices that I love.
Yeah.
Like those are just voices that I love. And then, definitely like Alicia Keys for sure. See, I hate when people ask me this because I'm like, I never, and then I, afterwards, I'm always like, wait, there were so many other people that I wanted to mention.
No, but those are all people that also I think do like speak to your sound. And I think influences in terms of singers, I've heard some singers are always like, I don't really like to listen to a lot of people because I don't want it to mess up how I'm making music, you know, like I don't want to get, you know, confused or whatever versus their sound versus the other person's. But I think like it's good to have influences and then they can, but you have such a distinct sound, especially being 22. When you sit down to create music, where do you start? Is it emotion, melody, words? Like how do you start the process?
Always a melody. I think like sometimes it can start with an emotion. Sometimes it's like an assignment. Like somebody's like, can you write this song for me? And I'm like, yeah. And then I end up waiting until the last day to write it. And then I like procrastinate. But yeah, always a melody. Some people I know, like I think I read that Billy Joel sometimes like would do the lyrics first and then add the accompaniment. I like am not, well, except in one case, but most cases it's just accompaniment because I just feel like that creates the world. It's like world building, you know? And then right after that, I'll just start singing gibberish and then hopefully like the lyrics will like come out. But yeah, that's pretty much the process. I mean, I think it was different with Mothering Blackness, which I hopefully will release this year, which is like a poem by
I heard that.
Maya Angelou. So that kind of just like gave me almost the world that I needed to build already. Cause like you read the poem and you create like there's colors that pop in your mind. There's like energy that you feel. There's emotions that the poem like makes you feel. And then I just, you know, sit down and fiddle around and figure out like what seems to complement those words. So I think mostly just like that process of just of like creating the accompaniment and then the lyrics. And
is it because I think songwriting is, well, to me it's very intimidating just because I have no bone in my body. I just don't know, I can't start it. I don't know. I think I've tried before. I like go on my voice memo and be like, I'm driving. Like, I don't really know. And it just feels so daunting, I think. When did, like, at what, if you say you wrote that song at 12, the farewell song, is that your first song you ever wrote, or what age were you?
Definitely wrote some songs before, but I have no idea what they are. But so that's probably the first song that I can remember. But I started like just playing around with some chords, like probably around the age of like 8 or 9. Wow. Like I had been taking piano lessons since I was 4. And I think like I probably was like, my dad got me an MP3 when I was like 9 or 10. And he like downloaded like Adele and like Norah Jones on it. And so I would like listen. And I think that was important because it just, it inspired me to start, you know, writing.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so as an artist, a lot of people have like the goal as far as what they want people to get from their music. What would you say is like your hope for for listeners that listen to you, for fans and stuff?
Yeah.
What do you hope that they get from your music? Because you're keeping a lot of the history alive in terms of music and like art and poetry and all that. And I think that that's such an important piece. But what do you think is your main like hope that people grab from your music?
I think that's a good question. Nobody's ever asked me that before. So I'm like, oh, like, wow, I've never thought about this. I would hope that when people listen to the songs, that it almost feels like a sonic like greenhouse, or like something that's just like really lush, like full of like different colors, full of like different like animals, just like something that feels like almost like orchestral in a sense. And like people listen to it and they're like, oh my gosh, like what are the different like references here? Like what genres could she be pulling from? Like who are, I just hope it would, I don't know. Cause I listen to a lot of artists and I'm like, oh, like I love how this person like seems to be referencing this artist, or I love how this makes me feel. And obviously that's like the universal desire for all musicians is like, I want people to feel, even if it's just one person, like I want someone to just feel like heard and noticed and understood. So of course that's the baseline desire, but I think also for like the people that are really like tuning in,
real
like
musical,
I would hope that they're like, oh, like this is like so interesting that she like decided to do this, or like she did it, or like I love the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
and I know, and I think like for me, I think about different people that listen to music, right? People like someone we both know, Jonathan Ball.
Yeah.
Who, when he listens to music, he could cry just based on the arrangement. Like he just loves that.
Yeah.
And then someone who's just listening just to just be like, oh, okay, it sounds good in my car. Okay, cool. Like this is nice. And I think your music is one that can be studied and also just it feels good to listen to at the same time, which I think is lost in a lot of music. I honestly don't like, for me, for mainstream music these days, it all sounds alike sometimes. It's like very just like normal. I'm like, okay, you sound just like Ariana Grande. Like so this is
I was
very,
just about to ask, like, what are your thoughts, like as a listener?
So your music, I feel like can take me somewhere that I've never been in terms of how I'm thinking while I'm listening to it. I feel something. I can see the color. Like I really could see like pictures and all that kind of stuff. When I listen to like mainstream, like the stuff that your age group listens to, I'm like, this is cool, but I'm also not in that space anymore. I'm 28. So I'm like, I don't really care about this like kind of, because when I was teaching, a lot of high schoolers were listening to, you know, all the mainstream Sabrina Carpenter, people like that. But that stuff is not as musical to me. And I wonder about what you think about that. Like for mainstream music that's on the radio, 104.1. I don't even know what radio stations are there anymore. But like, you know, the main like
like top 10, like top Billboard.
10, how do you feel about that music? I would love to know.
Yeah. You're 22. Yeah, it's funny because my Spotify Wrapped, like my age on Spotify Wrapped was like 82.
I mean, that tracks. That tracks.
So, you know, I think that says a lot.
That does say a lot. 82.
82. I was like, this seems a little much. Like, I mean.
No, it might be right.
I mean, in my defense, my sister, who is definitely much more like locked in with like the current.
Is she older or younger?
She's younger.
Okay.
She got 83. So I was like, I don't know what you're listening to. But, wow. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think about this a lot.
Where do you think music is headed in terms of mainstream? Not where your music, because your music is, you're in a category that like I said, people will study your music. You're 22 right now. In the future, I see your music being like, oh, Beethoven's, you know what I mean?
That's very kind.
I'm just saying, because no one's to my knowledge, in the spaces I'm in, people are not doing what you're doing. Yeah. And I think even someone like a Jonathan sees that too, where it's like, yo, like this person is in the category all by themselves. Yeah. But where do you see like the top 10 kind of music? Like what's happening out there?
Okay, so like I feel like there is a there's definitely something going on in the industry where for a while everything seemed to be based like primarily on like branding and aesthetic. And of course those things are important, but that seemed to outweigh the like core like musical ability and talent, whether it's like you're a great dancer, you're a great entertainer, or you're a great vocalist, or you're a great writer, or you're a great instrumentalist. It seemed like people were less interested in that and way more interested in, okay, how can we market you?
I agree.
Because people are going to be drawn to something image and palatability and perfection and the like so-called ideal, whether in, you know, that's subjective, but at the end of the day, like people are drawn to that. People are drawn to like quick dopamine, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's always been a part of the industry, but even within that, you had like record labels and companies and executives and professionals. They were still like, okay, like you may have a specific look, we can mold that, but what we're really looking for is what can you do? That used to be like the most important part.
Yeah, and then they would kind of build you after that.
Exactly.
Into the image they wanted.
The image, right? Yeah. And like that used to be the money-making part. It's like, we can buy the clothes, we can do the makeup, we can do all that stuff after. We can hire a whole team to make you into a superstar. Yeah. But do you have
the talent?
Do you have something that is not just like, that's raw? You know what I mean?
No, I definitely do.
It's like somewhere along the line, especially like early 2000s, we just started to move in this weird direction where like you have a lot of people that are just like, you know what, we can hire some good songwriters, we can get some good producers and make, you know, a pop hit. But as long as the person fits this like mold, we can make as much money as we want to, and the person doesn't even need to really be like giving anything.
Yeah, real.
So
that's so real. I think I'm so glad to hear your perspective because it's so refreshing to me, just because of what I'm not really getting from the industry right now that I really want. Like I've watched all the shows, like the Building the Band show, the Songwriter show where they put all the songwriters in the house. And I'm like, okay, this is like I've just started watching Stranger Things. And
oh, really?
Yeah, you've watched it?
Yeah.
Okay. I just started watching it, but I'm on season 4. I was on season 3, and there was that monster that basically like, it was a whole bunch, an army, and then they melted into the bigger monster.
That was nasty.
That was disgusting. But I feel like that's what it looks like now for me, for like songwriters coming in a room and just like creating this song. You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh, it blows up. It's so great. Oh, pop hit. Quick. It's on the charts for 2 weeks or whatever. And then it's like, okay, next. Who's going to make the next big hit? And that's literally what the whole show was on the songwriting show. It was just like, they were just trying to figure out who had the best hit, but 10 people were on one song. Yeah. And I was just like, and they're creating it for an artist that's already big.
So I'm
just like, where is the hard work? I mean, to me, it's just like, I get it. You have a lot of things to do. You have to be in these meetings, or you have to do media, or you have to do photo shoots. I get the hard work. But to me, I don't like it. Because I'm like, I want to hear you. That's why I had such a problem. In high school, I had a big problem with Drake. Because once I heard about a ghostwriter, I was like, what?
You're just like me. Like,
I was like, he's not even a real artist anymore.
He's not a real rapper. Like,
oh my gosh, I was so mad. And I think I still have some of that, well, a lot of that in me when I listen to people. I'm like, I mean, this is cool. But like, it's not.
Wait, I'm so happy to hear you say that because I feel like I am alone. Like I feel like everybody is just like zombie walking, like oons, like let's all jump, let's all like, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Like is like, are we all gonna like lie and act like this is the best we can do?
And it's like, and like, then you hear like people talk about influences or like people that have been great, but we don't really have that anymore unless it's someone like you or someone that's like just doing their thing in their lane and not really worried about the mainstream sound. Like, what is my sound? And then eventually the people that actually care about music, it'll become mainstream. But like, the industry is so packed right now.
Yeah.
Because everybody's just...
It's oversaturated,
Yeah.
like you're saying. It's so oversaturated, but I think people are waking up, though. I do think they are. I mean, because I've heard a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I guess a lot of people meaning TikTok, like people, like complain, I think, just being like, everything sounds the same.
Yeah.
Missing, like, I don't know. I saw a video of Nat King Cole actually singing like a Christmas song, and people in the comments were like, wait, where are the voices like these? And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you guys, because y'all wanted Ice Spice.
Right. Like, hey,
you wanted Ice Spice. Sorry,
it's a gimmick. And I think too, a lot of the younger generation, like people your age and younger, are kind of the ones running what's popular.
Yeah.
So I get that. I do wonder. I wish I could go back in time, or you could do another thesis. But I wish I could go back in time and hear and see like in the 1920s group of kids being like, "Yo, this is a banger," and it's just like. Something
like mid,
like it's like what I think real music was happening. Yeah. Like just imagine kids sitting around listening to Aretha Franklin and being like, "Oh, this is dope." Like
And
it was like the whole world loved these people.
Yeah,
and I don't know where we got lost. Yeah, and I'm just making this up right now, but just imagine like Michael Jackson. Say like when he released like Bad. Yeah. And then everyone sees his fame, his level of fame, what he has, the music he's making is so great. And they're probably like, I need to be that famous. So like, what do I need to do? I need to make my music sound like that versus making their own music. You know what I mean?
No, but I think what you're describing is actually what has happened. Like you just perfectly described this situation. Yeah. Which is like, instead of people being like, let me go find my unique sound, and the people who love it are going to be there. And the people who don't, they won't be there, and that's okay. Yeah. They're trying to figure out, okay, how can we recreate this mega stardom so that we can achieve this level of notoriety or this level of fame, and most importantly, this level of wealth. Yeah. Because ultimately it boils down to one thing, and it's money. Like when you look at people like Michael Jackson, groups like the Beatles, even Beyonce, like, I mean, these are close to $1 billion catalogs that these artists have. Like big name executives are stepping in to like run their estates and purchase the catalogs. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. Like it's a big money making industry. And once you surpass a certain level of fame where like your name itself is worth like 8-9 figures, then you enter into a whole different space where it's not about your talent. Yeah. It's about how can we recreate this product? Exactly. It's about production. It's about profit. It's about consumption as well.
And I blame social media. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, I would have never known about this unless I saw it on social media. Yeah. And that's everything now. No one's going out to research anything. It's all coming to them. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, this sounds cool. Everyone liked it. It has 1 million likes, so it must be good.
It must be good, right? And that's the problem. But yeah, I don't know. I think social media, especially like in the current political climate that we're in, I don't know like how long TikTok is going to be around for. And I don't know. I think music is really in a very, very precarious place right now, because to be an artist means that you need to be online. Like there's no way to do it. There's no other way to do it.
It's not like, oh, I popped up on you in a little
in a little cafe or like you passed out a CD or something. You know what I mean? It's not like that anymore. Yeah. You have to be online. No one else is gonna know about you. Nobody else is gonna know about you.
Well, Vyann, I need you to save us. Because I'm like, I know there's hope, you know, and it gives me, I get a little glimpse here and there with certain artists that are mainstream right now, like I can't think. Rhea?
Oh, yeah, Ray. Ray? Love Ray. Yeah, she's awesome.
Okay, I'm like, okay. Yeah. And even her sister, like, I've listened to her. So I'm like,
all of her sisters, like, absolutely. Yeah. And then there's another one. I'm like, what's in the water?
That's okay. We're getting somewhere. And even when she sang at the Grammys, like, when she performed at the Grammys for the first time, I thought of you.
Wait, you did? I love Ray. I love her down. And you know what her favorite artist is Nina Simone. She said in an interview, she was like, I love Nina Simone. I was like, yeah.
So yeah, like I'm like, okay, I see where we're going. Everyone loves her hit song or whatever.
Yeah.
I just want it to not, I don't like when one song is great. I want everyone to listen to all the music.
You're just like me, because also like the song Where's My Husband? Great song. Great song. But once again, she had many really arguably better songs that that didn't really get to the, charts.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a song. It's a great song. But it's like, There's shows once again, like,
people are lazy.
The market and what people are more likely to like go to. You know what I mean?
It's very lazy for the listener to just listen to one song and then just keep on listening to other. But I think that's like, we're so used to getting what we want when we want it. Those dopamine hits, like you were saying. It's like, okay, cool, but I know she has to get tired of only being able to sing that
Where's
song
My Husband?
On every interview show or whatever. Like, she's singing that first and she's getting interviewed.
But
and
that's
it's just
how
like,
it
boom, boom,
is. Like, it literally, and that's the other thing. Like, obviously, like, I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But like, the other thing is like, when you do get big as an artist, it's like, it's always that one song.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But like, but it is always that one song.
Yeah.
And I remember, what's popping in my head is this interview with Beyonce back when she still gave interviews.
I wish she still did, I can't believe she doesn't. Anyways, go ahead.
Where she was like, people don't want to create albums anymore.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I think you've seen that.
I actually did like a little voiceover of that sound.
Oh, you did? Wait, awesome. Yeah, so it's a well-known interview, right? But it just popped in my head because she was saying this like before. This was like, what, 2016 or 2015 maybe? So this was like before TikTok. Like, I think Musical.ly had just popped in. But like, people still weren't, the internet and social media was still not a place where you saw music being like disseminated and people like actually like social media users being like dictating what is like skyrocketing on the charts and what isn't. Like, social media still wasn't that place. People obviously were talking about music and like Twitter and like album releases and stuff, but there was no like apps where people are making like visualizers or dances to certain songs. And like, she said this before that time, but it was in the beginning of that whole era of like, instead of releasing an album or an EP, you're releasing a single.
And that's so sad. It's not about a body of work.
Exactly.
And that is, it's sad more. To me, it's sad for the creator because I'm like, they do all of this work to, make something, make a whole body of work. And then people listen to one song and then they're like, okay. Because even on Apple Music, you'll click the one song and then you'll say, go to album. And you're
it'll be like, there's no album.
No one's like making albums anymore, like Beyonce said.
Yeah.
But man, I just hope that, people like you that are creating music the way you are and just actually owning who they are and just being authentically themselves, that they just stick with that. Because I do feel like there is a path forward and it's a glimmer of hope in certain artistry that you see coming up. But like, I just hope that we don't lose, that everyone doesn't go that way,
Yeah.
Because I think it's so easy. You're like, okay, I could make a little hit, whatever y'all want to do.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, you get a great producer. You listen to some stuff. You can.
Yeah, but
you can.
It's not to me, it's not going to heal the world. You know what I mean? And if that's what we're looking to do, and I hear you saying that's like some of what you want to do, especially knowing that music is healing. There's a lot of music that isn't because it's not really made from a great place, but yours is. So I need you to stick with that. So I want to do this quick game real quick. It's the end of what we're going to do. It's called Keep, Drop, Remix.
Okay.
So you can either keep it, you can drop it completely, or you can keep it and remix it into something better. Okay, so overthinking.
Oh, drop. Drop it.
Your current routine.
Drop.
Drop?
No, there's a lot of things.
It's not good right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I need to do right now.
Hustle culture.
Let's keep it for now. Let's keep it.
Can we remix it?
We can remix it. Let's remix it.
Yeah, because it's good to grind.
It's good. But, but Jesus never grinded. I love that meme. Jesus never grinded.
That's funny. How you protect your peace?
Remix, I think, for now. Yeah.
The version of yourself people see online.
I think keep for now.
And then the version of yourself you're becoming.
Remix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yes, I think you are on a great path.
Thank you.
And I think you're doing a great job with the music that you're making. Also, congratulations on graduating from Yale University. That's a big accomplishment.
Thank you.
Thank you also for keeping alive like history. I think that's very important to today, because they always say if you forget history, it'll repeat itself or whatever. And I think that you're helping us not do that. And thank you for having an 82-year-old Spotify account, because that's what's making it, what you're doing so great. You know, it's so rich, the music that you make, and the life that you're living. From my vantage point on social media, I think you're doing a great job. You're posting, it's great. Thanks. I love it. Keep it up. And yeah, what is one thing you would tell your younger self when it comes to music and artistry?
I would say like music and art are just, they're so human, and it's just like food. Like you need it. You need it. And I think like it's cathartic. Create it because it's needed.
Yeah.
Don't create it for any other reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like you can get very easily, and I'm still working this, you can get so wrapped up in like the numbers and the money and the notoriety and all of that stuff, but it's like, no, like create it because it's needed.
Yeah.
Like we need people to make music. We need people to paint. We need people to sing. We need people to write. We need people to dance. We need it because like it's genuinely something that is just so deeply human.
Yeah.
And like if we deny ourselves that, we're also denying our humanity in a way.
Yeah.
And so it's like, do it because it has to be done. You know?
That's great. That's really good. I hope that anyone who is younger can hear that and really take that on, because it is so needed. Yep. And I think people don't realize how much music can just make you feel better on a regular basis.
Yes.
Like a day-to-day. Yes. Like it's a great tool. Yes. So yeah. Is there anything else we need to know, look out for from you?
New music coming hopefully the next couple of months. Yes. Maybe an EP. Yeah.
Nice. Make sure you guys are following her on social media at Vyann.
Vyann, yes. __.
Okay, I'll put it in the description. Yeah. But thank you so much for speaking with me today. Awesome. This was an amazing conversation. I think season 2 of the Rhoyal Remix is going up because this conversation is needed. Everybody needs to listen to it because we need to see where music is going in the next 5 years to 10 years. Ooh. And with Vyann's help, it's going in a great direction. This has been the Rhoyal Remix. Peace.
Thank you so much. This was awesome.
You're amazing.
Your questions were great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're such a great interviewer.